Sometimes in life, people become so wrapped up in what they're doing, so passionate about what they believe, they're willing to go to extremes to prove a point. And that happened last night in Saratoga Springs at a city council meeting where a woman wanted her concerns about the treatment of the unhoused community to be heard. And we showed that to you live at 11. Dan Levy spoke with that woman today, and he joins us live in downtown Saratoga Springs with what he found out. Good evening, Dan.
Rachel, good evening. That woman's name is Rio Kaufman. She is a longtime advocate for the homeless community members here in this community. And last night there was a very spirited city council meeting at which time the city council voted to prohibit camping. In other words, they're trying to get rid of homeless people. They don't want them sleeping on city sidewalks or on city benches, park benches, or anywhere out in the public. And so each speaker last night was supposed to get 2 minutes speaking time max, but Ms. Kaufman wanted a little more time.
I'm asking you to help our community for years.
I am asking you to sit down.
Some of our unhoused community locally.
Please sit down.
Well, Ms. Kaufman was issued an appearance ticket. She believes she did get her point across, and she further drove home that point by kneeling down on the sidewalk earlier today when I interviewed her. Now, her point of view, one shared by many, is that you will not solve the homeless problem by turning them into criminals and by fining them up to $250 for sleeping on the streets. Business owners have long complained about the homeless population here. The camping prohibition, by the way, is seen as a tool to help remedy the situation. But when you're passionate about something, sometimes you're willing to get arrested to prove your point.
I had a lot to say last night and I didn't get a chance to finish speaking, but part of the reason I had so much to say is because this ordinance is so poorly written, so poorly thought out. There are so many ramifications that affect not only our unhoused community, but everybody in the community. And part of the point I was trying to make when the mayor had me taken out in handcuffs yesterday is that there are valid reasons that some people don't feel safe in shelters, such as people with PTSD, such as trans people who are often discriminated against, harassed, and even abused in shelters.
If people aren't causing a problem, there is no problem. It's when the line gets crossed, like someone got spit on, that works for me. Like when the line gets crossed, we have an issue. Until then, we don't.
Well, I did speak with several business owners here in downtown Saratoga Springs earlier today. They are relieved. They are pleased with this measure. You will hear from them coming up at 6 o'clock. You will also hear from the mayor of the city, who did weigh in on this issue as well. We're live in Saratoga Springs with coverage you can trust. Dan Levy, News Channel 13.
Tonight, the streets of Saratoga Springs are filled with discontent and delight for some.
It follows a contentious city council meeting just last night.
One woman wound up leaving the meeting in handcuffs.
And when the meeting was over, camping had officially been banned on city property, including sidewalks. Dan Levy gathered reaction today. He joins us live from downtown Saratoga Springs. Dan, good evening to you.
Sabrina and Mark, good evening to you tonight. Many business owners here in downtown Saratoga Springs are celebrating. At the same time, there are advocates for the homeless who are commiserating.
Because the business owners complained.
So that woman is an advocate for the homeless individuals. She's determined to get her point across last night, and she wound up in handcuffs, and she missed the end of that meeting. But before the meeting ended, the Saratoga Springs City Council voted 3-2 to prohibit people from sleeping on streets or on benches or in parks, or else face fines of up to $250 or jail time. Now, the ordinance comes just before the opening of the racing season, but it also comes at a time when business owners have long been complaining about the presence of homeless individuals. One of those people, by the way, who turned out for the meeting was Jeremy Zepp, who was homeless for 10 years, and he was, up until recently, living in a city park.
A seasonal problem. It's not just a let's sweep things on Saratoga. It is not. It's a problem that we here downtown face 365.
And I spend 10 to 12 hours a day on the corner of Caroline Street and Broadway, and I've seen a lot of violence. I feel like it's hard to keep my team safe, and we call the cops often.
Understand the position of business owners?
I do, yes, I do understand that. I get that. I mean, they've been putting in laws like where we got to stay 10 feet away from a business and stuff.
It is simply not humane to allow people to live and sleep on the streets without intervention. We have strong support systems in place across the city and county, and this law helps connect individuals to the services they need.
Well, I think a lot of people will be happy to find out that Jeremy Zeff, the formerly homeless person you heard from, tells me that he has taken advantage of a city program and he is no longer homeless and he sees himself moving in a positive direction now. We're live in Saratoga Springs with coverage you can trust. Dan Levy, News Channel 13. Mark and Sabrina, back to you.